Hey guys, Dadtries, and today we have Noita. So, Noita is one that I actually Googled the meaning of the name, and at first I got nothing, but then after a little bit more research, I realized that the developers of this game are actually from Finland, and Noita is the Finnish word for witch, so that checks out. Noita is a procedurally generated pixel destructive roguelike game where you focus on collecting wands and making your own spells using the features of wands and different spells that you get from either finding wands, or at the end of each level you have the option to purchase different spells and different modifiers for your wands. It's incredibly deep. There's a ton of different spells that you can select. Pretty much everything in the world is destructible. There's just, I couldn't even tell you how many different combinations of things you can do with the wands. I've got about 15 hours into the game right now as far as my recording purposes go. It has been kind of a rough go, and I say that because it was really hard to learn. I'm about 15 hours into it, and I feel like I'm just now kind of starting to get the hang of it. I'm still not great with exactly what all of the spells do and what all of the modifiers on the wand will do as far as like splitting your shots or ricocheting shots. I mean, there's the list goes on, and I certainly don't know the majority of them. I have no idea what they do. So usually I'll put a wand together and then I'll just blast it around for a little bit until I find a combination that I like. And then I go back and kind of figure out a little bit more what I've actually done. Once I found a winning combination, then I go forward, and there's another spot once you finish each level that lets you pick a different perk. There's also a perk reroll machine. It costs $200. And it changes up the perks that you can pick. It usually gives you 3 every time you finish a level. You can pick one of, and so it really does take a little while to get into and to learn. I did a lot of reading as well in some of my free time to just kind of figure out what some of the different mechanics were. For a while I was trying to avoid getting wet because who likes being wet? But turns out getting wet is actually really helpful. It dampens fire damage. In fact, you won't catch on fire if you get wet. And it doesn't even really matter what you're wet with. You can be wet with oil or water or even blood. Blood is one of the best things to get yourself saturated in. So game's a little bit sadistic, I guess, in that sense, because you can also capture blood in an empty bottle or water in an empty bottle, or you can pour different liquids together and make a completely new liquid and then put that in a bottle and throw it at your enemies or pour it on yourself. Whatever makes you happy, you can do that. And that's probably the number one highlight of this game, is that there's really nothing that's pushing you in any one particular direction. You can really take your time and do whatever you want. There's not like there is a hunger system, but you're not going to starve to death. I don't really know why the hunger system exists. You can push S or down on your controller and you can eat stuff. I've only eaten stuff that made me sick, and I've never found anything that helps me out. After doing some more reading, I guess that was something that was added to this most recent release. So the game just came out of early access, and one of the more recent updates is that they added a hunger system so that you couldn't go and like drink an entire lake worth of water, so that you could, not have to worry about holding your breath. You could just drink the whole lake. So I think that's what they did it for, and it doesn't sound like they've really implemented anything else to go along with it. So for right now, you can like eat grass or mushrooms or ooze. Just anything that's on the ground, you can push S or down and you can eat it. It'll make you sick and you'll vomit. So that's kind of neat. You can vomit all over yourself and then put it in a bottle and throw it at enemies if that's what you're into. But realistically, it doesn't help you out at all. So the eating system, the food system is there. It doesn't do anything except prevent you from drinking an entire lake, because you'll get full. Going back to the environment, it's actually really fun to play around with. I mean, A lot of liquids are flammable. There's gunpowder, there's coal, there's all kinds of things that are going to be set on fire for you. So that's kind of neat. It is really satisfying to watch the world burn, and I say that for legal reasons, Noita purposes only. But with that being said, the world is also extremely unforgiving. I couldn't tell you how many times my runs have come to an end because I dropped down a little bit too fast and got one-shotted by some guy with a shotgun. I mean, you go from having a great time to dead in the blink of an eye, and it can be a little frustrating, especially because this game doesn't really have a progression system. Once you die, that's it. You start a new run, but you're starting from ground zero. There's no skills that you can level up like some other roguelikes. There's no item progression. You're not extracting anything. It is just what you see is what you get, and you start with a random, semi-random wand and spell and a random potion. And when you die, you start over with another semi-random wand and random potion. You do get, I guess, the feel of progress, because as you find new things, it updates your journal so that you know what spells and effects you've already found. So you can, I guess, to 100% the game, you can unlock all of those or find every single one of those abilities, but it doesn't really help you out in your next run. You can pause the game, so that's kind of neat. Just hit escape, walk away, and depending on how good you are at the game, your runs are going to take you anywhere between 30 seconds and 25 minutes, probably, maybe half hour. Actually, no, you know what? I really can't speak to that because, well, I suck real bad, so I don't even know if you can win. I don't know if the runs have an end. I have no idea. But my runs, after about 15 hours of experience, generally are about 20 minutes. Another thing I should mention is that while it does play well on the Steam Deck, as far as like it running okay, playing this game with a controller puts you at a huge disadvantage because of the aiming system. You're trying to aim your shots using your right thumbstick in a circular motion, and the axis is swirling around your character. So it really is kind of hard to land your shots and really have accurate shots with the controller. With the keyboard and mouse, it's so much easier. Obviously, you just point and click. So there is a huge difference there. The Steam Deck, yeah, you can use the haptic pads, but it's not great. I would recommend playing this one solely on a PC if possible, or if you're gonna play it on a Steam Deck, plug it into a dock and use a mouse and keyboard. It runs just fine. Again, it's just hard to aim your shots, and it's pretty important. You don't want to be missing shots. You really want to be hitting things that you're trying to shoot at, because again, this game's unforgiving and there is no reprieve for being bad. And if you're playing with a controller, you're gonna be bad. It's just the way it goes. So let's get into it. $20 is what this game goes for normally. It does have overwhelmingly positive reviews, but for $20, I just think that this game kind of misses the mark a little bit. And I say that mostly because it's not portable. You can play it on the Steam Deck. Like I said, it does run, but you're not going to want to play it on the Steam Deck. Once you've played with a mouse and keyboard, you're going to feel so severely handicapped with a controller. You're just not going to want to do it. So it's a game that you're only going to play sitting at a regular desktop computer, and there's just so many other things I would rather play if I'm actually sitting in my computer. I'm probably not going to go for this one. $10, maybe. Go for a sale if you can get it for $5 to $8. Absolutely, yeah, but I'm already feeling a little bit burnt out on it after 15 hours, and I have a hard time saying yes to this one. It is fun. I did enjoy it. I don't think I'm going to go back to it anytime soon. Like, I don't feel like I need to play more of this game. I'm actually pretty happy with being done with the review. So with all those things considered, I'd wait for a sale. That's my take. And I almost feel kind of bummed saying that, because the core elements of a great game, a fantastic game, are all here. It just needs a little bit more. I really think some sort of progression system that you can take with you from run to run would really make you feel a little bit more ownership and a little bit more attached to the character, but really there isn't anything there. It seems empty, I guess. I'm not excited to go back to the menu and spend points and make my guy a little bit better. It's just, oh, my run's done. Guess I'll do another one. See how I die this time. But that's it for me. That's Noita. Again, I did have fun playing the game. I'd wait for a sale. It's a really complicated one. It's going to take you at least 10 or 12 hours to feel like you're actually playing the game right. And by then, you'll have just enough left in the tank to play a couple runs and be done with it. So that's my take. If you thought this was helpful, throw me a like. Consider subscribing. Leave me a comment on one of the videos, good, bad, or ugly. If you've got feedback, if you have a game you think I'd like, whatever it is, I will probably reply to you. Also, the fact that I just hit like 50 subscribers is nuts. I really didn't think that there are 50 people on this planet who gave a shit about anything I had to say, but I am now at 53 subscribers, which is so awesome. Thank you very much to everybody who subscribed. I think my next one, I'm looking at a game that really reminds me a lot of Papers, Please, but it's in a first-person view, and it seems a little bit more intricate than simply looking at Papers. I don't even remember the name of it right now, but you'll see. It's going to be cool. At least it looks cool, but I've been burned before.